Russo for 101 Small Business Mastermind, and we have a guest with us today, Ron Elwaner. Ron, say hello to everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
And say good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Dick.
And good morning, Mark.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good, and good morning, Jane. Frank and Jane.
You know what? You told me you were going to do that, and I still was unprepared. Very well done. Very well done.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So I don't have an internet lesson today. What I do want to show, however, is the shape of my new business card, and let everybody know. Tell me you got this square business card up there. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. That is where I'm headed, and with Ron's company is going to do me proud, and so I'm getting 1,000 of my cards done in this square fashion in a sleeve. I think it's going to just rock. I'm nervous as heck. I was certainly the nervous Nelly, and Ron was having to hold my hand yesterday to approve my graphic design. You know what I ought to do is show that. Let me stop sharing for a second and go find that. And let me see here. Open. And yes. Well, why can't I see that? You know what I might be able to do is open recent. Here we go. And this is what it looks like. Let me go share this screen here. And this was my nervous Nelly. Let everybody know when they got that.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Ron. Keep holding my hand. I appreciate it. This orange dot here in the middle is where the hole is going to go, but Dick and I worked on this yesterday, and we were adding our QR on the front, QR code for InfoCard, and then today or tomorrow, Ron's going to send me a PDF proof of the exact size. I'm going to print it off, and I'm going to shoot it with my phone to see if it works all right. So that, I think, is going to make a nice splash. You know, we got you want more clients in there, so I got a good tagline going, got a little thing of what I do. Ron actually added this one, Windows Tray CD only. In his experience, that was an important thing to add. So I think I got everything. I hope. And if not, I did my best. I tell you, it gives me heartburn to have 1,000 of something made, and you get them, and it's like there's a mistake. Killer, you know. A few years back, I had 5,000 run of the City of Bunker Hills CD-ROM that I did, and that gave me the same consternation. Boy, I was nervous with that one. But okay, that's all I got. Anybody have any questions on that before we swing over to Twin?
Just one comment. I'll comment again when Ron is on.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot. And you know, I do not have, nor do I believe in business cards.
Right.
Okay. And you know, I mean, I broadcast that to anybody who asked me for a business card. But I like it, and because it's different, and different gathers attention, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's on there and seeing the final product. Ron, I think it's a great idea.
Well, thank you. They've been very popular, so I hope it works well for Peter.
I have to tell you, though, my data is just stellar, and all these guys have seen me use mine, and now Dick's using his, and it stops people dead in their tracks. Well,
it really
almost.
does.
The one, Dick, you might want to say that he went over to one promotional group, wanted to talk to him, and they said it's old and people don't use them anymore. But gee, do you want to buy a plastic cup with your logo on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They
idiots.
they told me, the guy said, well, I stopped doing those around 4 years ago, and they're doing some memory sticks and things like that, but they're really, I think, stuck in kind of the old ages, because then they showed me, their promotional giveaways, and it's stuff that when I was working in, probably in 1990 we would give those away. So my experience has been that it's not it's not old. If it is old, it's new to the people I'm showing it to because they're very taken by it. They the response has been 100% positive as far as you would give this out. You want to spark a conversation and interest, and it's done it every time. So I've had great results with it, and I'm excited about continuing on with it. So.
And the surfboard, which we call the surfboard, I'll show that. I don't think I've shown it to Ron, but I've explained it. It's 1/3 of a panel that we fugitively glue the CD-ROM to, and that really bumps up. And on the backside, it's got bullet points and his QR for it. But that also has a big wowie factor, as we've been talking before.
Yeah, I think it took it to another level. I mean, Peter, you've been doing this for quite a while, and I've been doing it, maybe a couple months with the CD-ROM business card. But when you added the idea of the board, and we put those on, when I hand those out now, generally I get a real strong conversation about my program and what I'm doing, and a lot of positive feedback from people on it.
Yeah, that's exactly how I met Ron. I went to his wonderful website and and basically picked up a conversation with him about getting these things done. And I'm like Mikey likes it on that cereal commercial. If Mikey likes it, it's got to be good, because Mikey doesn't like anything. And so I'm running my first 1,000 run through Ron. And if it comes out as good as we think it's going to come out, then other people might want to do the same run. We've got a couple of other people that are interested in it. I just had to get the pricing and get all that taken care of. So that's why I was doing that. And if you're ready to do a twin, I want to go grab something, go off camera, Frank, while you do twin, and then come back on and show something else. All right?
I just want to add. Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
go ahead, Ron.
Well, I just wanted to say that even with the CD business cards, even if people don't have a tray that they can play them in, or have some computers now don't even have drives, you still have your information on there, and it will function as a normal business card.
Right, and I think with the QR, if we put the QR on the front, they could shoot that with their smartphone and get to the website anyway, where you should have the same materials over there anyhow. But you actually have two things that are even better that we're going to show here. I'm real excited about these other two options. I'll have to make a small killing somewhere along the way to afford them, but I think they're pretty wild, and we'll get into that. So, Frank, are you ready to do twin?
I am ready.
All right, my focus is on you. Go.
Okay, twin, this week in the news, and this week's headline is, "Hey, Hooters girl, thank you for the small business lessons." As soon as the law would allow, a high schooler, young lady named Kat, K-A-T, got her first job selling clothes at a local mall. Within a year, Kat was recruited, and she joined Hooters as a hostess. Yeah, it is that Hooters, the one famous for their tight T-shirts and their neon orange, very short shorts. Well, you know what? This story happens hundreds of times every year in the U.S. So what makes this story special? And I'll tell you what makes special. What makes special is Kat from Jacksonville, Florida, who had some obstacles in her life that some people will call a disadvantage, but Kat turned them into what I call an unfair advantage for her. And here is Kat's story. When Kat was 9 years old, she and her two youngest sisters were notified by their mother that she had left their father. Their mother was now working 3 jobs to provide for the family, and Kat, being the oldest of 3 girls, now had a lot more responsibility because mom worked 3 jobs. When mom was away and her sisters misbehaved, Kat took the role of the parent. When her sisters did behave, Kat was their sister and their best friend. Kat learned there was no time for excuses. If something had to be done, Kat just did it, and she didn't know how, she would learn how to do it and then just get it done. Okay. Also, since their mother did not make much money, they had a family food budget of $10 per week to feed them. To quote Kat, she said, well, it wasn't too bad. You learn to like Spam, frozen lasagna, and beanie weenies. I have no idea what beanie weenie is, by the way, but anyway, I guess they were popular back down in Jacksonville. The lesson her mom taught her is be thankful for things not being worse, but never be afraid to work really hard to make them better. And Kat practiced this attitude when she became a hostess at Hooters. When a cook quit, Kat went to the kitchen and learned how to cook and became the cook. When the bartender was a no-show for a shift, Kat learned how to mix drinks and work the bar. Kat served food, she washed dishes, and she prepped food. When a manager called in sick, Kat learned how to run a shift and took the manager's role. Kat became known at that Hooters as the person who got things done. Remember, this is 19 years. She was 19 years old. So when Hooters decided it was time to expand internationally, Kat was the obvious choice, and she was asked if she would fly down to Australia and open their first international restaurant in, I think it was Sydney. Kat immediately said yes, but there were two problems. Number one, Kat was making $45,000 a year working at the restaurant. She would make $22,000 a year working corporate. But Kat still felt the opportunity would be greater than a 50% pay cut, and Kat's philosophy was, as taught by her mother, Kat, be the best version of who you are. So whatever you do to improve yourself, take care of that. Problem number two, Kat had never been on an airplane, and she had no passport. So on her own, not wanting to miss this great opportunity, and without Hooters' knowledge, Kat discovered that you could get a passport in one day in Miami. So on her own dime, Kat flew early one morning to Miami, waited in line, and returned that evening with her passport. The next day, Kat boarded a plane to Australia. Very resourceful. The Australian restaurant was a huge success, and Kat went on to open more Hooters around the world, okay, in the corporate job. At age 26, Kat was now executive vice president of Hooters. And oh, by the way, Kat does not have a college degree. Kat decided it was time to leave, and she was now looking for another position when the president of Hooters unexpectedly died from a brain aneurysm. They asked Kat to stay through the transition. She did until the sale of Hooters was complete. She says, where else would I get to learn how to close, sell, and liquidate a business? Then at age 32, Kat Cole, her name is Kat Cole, joined Cinnabon as the chief operating officer, and within a few months, she was named president of this $1 billion food company. Not bad for a Hooters girl. Congratulations, Kat Cole. And that's Kat Cole's story. By the way, you may, if you watch Undercover Boss, last year Kat was an undercover boss for Cinnabon. She put on a blonde wig and toured the thing. I got two small business lessons that we can learn from Kat Cole. Small business lesson number one. You can only do what you can do, but darn it, at the very least, do that. Just like Kat and her mother only had $10 a week to feed her and her sisters, as small business owners, we too have limited budget to grow our business. And using the lesson that Kat's mother taught her, be thankful things are not worse, make do with what you have, stop complaining, and do what you can. There are no excuses. You're responsible. And number two, be proud and own who you are and what you do. Kat was introduced about 3 weeks ago, was interviewed on CNBC about Cinnabon, and she says, Kat, and by the way, the growth of Cinnabon has been tremendous in the 4 years that Kat's been president. How could Cinnabon grow their business so well since the country is on a health kick and their cinnamon rolls have 800 calories? Here's Kat's response. She says, no, they have 880 calories. She says, and we don't advocate having a Cinnabon every day, but everyone has discretionary calories that they allow themselves. Make them a Cinnabon. It's the best tasting alternative for your discretionary calories. Kat is what she is. She's the best of what she is. She doesn't hide away from what she does. The Cinnabon 880 calories, and she said, it is what it is. We're the best at what we do. try it. And by the way, there's now a Cinnabon vodka. There is Cinnabon K-cups for your Keurig machine. There's Cinnabon, there's a bunch, by the way, and she says, I've had a lot of failures. There's a Pizza Bond, which failed miserably. There was a Cinnabon lip balm, which was terrible. And she says, I never dwell on my failures. I work on my successes. What made it a success, and what can we do again to make that even more successful? So my question to small business owners, what is a Cinnabon in your business? What is it that something you said, you know what, I wish people would know about that? Be proud of it, own it, and make it special. And gentlemen, that's my twin for this week.
Good.
And by the way, this video will be. But Peter, your mic is muted. I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Good show.
By the
Thank
way,
you.
this video will be up on my YouTube channel within 5 minutes.
All right,
my
now
cat Cole story.
I'll post a link to it and put it in the show notes as well. Over on 101 Mastermind podcast or 101mastermind.com. Okay, so everybody knows that I make DVDs. This is when I was working with the Marine Corps, we made CD-ROMs actually for them. So what? Well, on the back side, I put 4 little feet, and now we have a gorgeous drink holder, and it brands you. So, gee, Ron, maybe that's a good idea. This is a great leave behind, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks.
And so I got these little feet at Home Depot. I think they were $1, you know. So if you have runs of stuff or you make it, of course I made this. It says drink coaster on it right here, so people don't try to put it in their drive or do some stupid thing like that. But you know how you always have CD-ROMs hanging around. Make it a drink coaster is another one. Make it a drink coaster and give these to your clients to have leave behinds for their potential clients. Another product line there, Ron. All right. So let's hit Ron. And Ron, I'll give you the introduction again. They have Ron has an incredible company that does all kinds of promotional materials, CD-ROMs being one of them, DVDs, Blu-rays, and 2 other items that we're going to talk about that I didn't even know existed, that is just exciting as heck. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Ron, and let's hear a little bit about your company and tell us what you do.
Sure, thank you. We started Media Direct back in 2003. My business partner and I at the time had worked together for about 7 or 8 years before that at a optical disc replication facility near Seattle, and determined that, you know, hey, we should be doing this ourselves. So that's how we got started. But I want to backtrack just a second here, Peter, and I don't know if this is going to show very well. Can you see?
Yep.
Okay, so you were showing those little feet, and you know, we actually sell these guys too.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to make an order.
Yeah, these are little silicone hubs, and we use them on cabinets around our house as well.
Right.
And I haven't tried them on the back of a CD or a DVD yet, but you were showing that that surfboard where you fugitive glued it on there.
Right.
I don't know if it would make financial sense, but you could easily do that too and mount that disc to one of these silicone hubs. So
Right.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
I've actually got one. I have a little glue dot thing I showed a while back in one of the episodes here, but the good news with that is the disc will fit right on there. It's really cool. They can pull it off. The bad news is you can't put a cover on it.
That's true.
Yeah, that's your option. But go ahead now.
Okay, so anyhow, besides the traditional CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, we have a line of USB drives, promotional items, but we've recently started selling 2 new items that have sparked a lot of interest. And I'll show, I'll do the video brochure first. So this is this is kind of new to me here, guys. So
yeah, no, that's good.
This is a brochure for Maserati, and when you open it up, so this is a 4.3-inch I'll go ahead and shut that now. It's a 4.3-inch high-definition LCD screen, and it comes in various sizes. I'm going to try to share this here real quick with you.
I want to see that brochure again when you after you share.
Sure. So these are the various screen sizes. Can you see that?
Oh yes, we got it.
The 4.3-inch, that's the one that I was showing you there. And go ahead and stop sharing this. There's also an option to make these touch screens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let's see. Okay, am I back?
Yep, you're back.
This is one that we did for BYU in honor of football season, finally almost being here.
37 seconds left now, Wester. This is the football game.
But you also have those clickable buttons. Show
Correct.
that off.
Okay, so this one you've got...
37 seconds left.
I'm going to pause that. So we've got a pause button, you've got volume buttons, and then you have two buttons on the side here. This brochure has 2 videos. You can have up to 8 videos and up to 10 buttons, and those buttons are customizable. So if you don't push any of the video buttons, the videos will just play sequentially. There's this particular one is 256 megabytes of memory, which is good for 10 to 12 minutes of video. Comes with a built-in battery. Comes in with a mini cable, and that would plug right into the bottom. There's a port right there. That port is for recharging the battery. The battery will last about 2 hours without recharging, and it's also used if you want to change the videos. It's very easy to change the videos. So the BYU piece was done as a fundraiser for their athletic department. It turned out to be very successful for them. That's about all I've got on the video brochures, unless anybody's got any questions on those, or do you want to wait till the end for that?
No, I want to jump in. I mean,
Okay.
just think this out, guys. Dick, can you imagine in a networking event, mixer? You know, there's your brochure that plays the videos. They can see it dead straight away. Clickable sections. Oh my gosh, that's like what we're doing on steroids. You know,
it really is. It really is.
Frank, have you ever seen anything like that?
No, but my mind is racing here. Ron, a couple of questions, quickly.
Sure.
Can only Maserati and BYU afford those?
You know, they are not inexpensive. I will tell you that. You know,
They shouldn't be.
No, they're not. You know, and it's a minimum order quantity of 50. But you know, obviously, economies of scale, it goes down substantially. And you know, when you start talking 1,000 pieces or more, the BYU piece was a 2,000 piece project.
Okay. Well, again, my second thing is, by the way, I think that's awesome. I would again, and here's how I would handle it, because I'm anti-business card. I would go to a major, any kind of event, and I would probably meet the most influential person there, show them one, and and see if they ask for one, and if they did, I'd say, you know what, I only have 9 left with me. Who do you recommend? Who do you think would appreciate taking one of these home with them, and make it a scarcity item, and have people line up, and because I think you hand them. Oh no, you couldn't afford to hand them out to everybody because of the cost, which is good. But I hate that about business cards handing them out to everybody. But I think that is such a desirable. I don't want to leave this party without one of those events. And I think that thing with BYU is tremendous, because who from the BYU alumni doesn't want one of those, or have the first batch of those? That was tremendous. That was a great idea.
It's been very popular with pharmaceutical companies as well. You know, pharmaceutical companies kind of have a reputation of you know, hiring good-looking women to go and call on doctors, and you know, most of the time they're just walking. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Walking in, calling on doctors, and they don't have time. So a pharmaceutical company got some of these, and now they are asking for the reps to come in and see them and talk to them in further detail about the various drug offerings. There's also, I forgot to mention, there's also a new version of this where it opens up and you have, let me pause it here, you'll have multiple pages, and as you turn the page, a new video will start.
Oh, wow.
So there'd be a cutout where the screen is, and you just turn the page.
Right. Wow. That's crazy good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you able to update, Ron? Are you able to update the videos?
Yeah, with the mini USB cable, you just plug it in, and it's just like opening up Windows Explorer or whatever you happen to be using, and you just drag and drop the videos onto that drive, and done. Easy.
Great. Yeah.
Ron,
So you have capability.
so if I was just thinking of a usage. Suppose, I'm an associate with Legal Shield, and they wanted to put out, on a monthly basis, training videos or informational videos. Are you saying that I, as an associate, could plug that in and they could update, or I could update to the latest training video or latest informational video? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, very simply. So we've sold some of these to advertising agencies. Well, they will actually customize a video for a client that's coming in. They sit across the table from them and hand them this, and they open it up, and it says, "Hi, John. Welcome to our company. Here's what we want to show you today."
Wild.
Well, it could be a tremendous training tool for companies too. Yeah,
that's wild. Love it. Got to get one. Sorry.
I will send you one out today, Peter.
Well, yeah, but I want to get my own, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, so that I just find that, from a marketing standpoint, that type of tool, and I know both Dick and I are drooling over this thing. Yeah. What a phenomenal way to present your company, even in a mixer where you got 2 or 3 or 4 people watching it, in little pods, and you can. That would just create such a buzz for somebody. My God, won't you think, Mark? That's just
live video.
That's gold.
Live video.
Hell, that's not gold. That's platinum. It's got platinum all over it. That's just crazy good.
You have your own podcast right there at the business group meeting.
Absolutely, and actually with the new compression schemes, Ron, I think you can get more video on there than you think.
Well, like I said too, the memory is upgradable as well as the battery, but the base memory of 256 megabytes, 10 to 12 minutes. I don't know how long somebody wants to watch videos on one of these. But so far for what we've done, the 10 to 12 minutes has been plenty.
Yeah.
But you can go up to 8 gigabytes, which is essentially almost 2 DVDs worth of capacity.
Right. And I can honestly see another way to use these would be to, if you had a high value target like that, drop it off for them to watch, come back and get an appointment to pick it back up and discuss it. That way you can recharge it and move it to the next guy, next client. So that could work too.
What's the format of the videos? Is it MP4s?
MP4 works, AVIs, just any video format.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd want to use MP4 for they're great looking videos. Like this is an MP4, for example, ultimately, and then so you can get a lot more in it, and then they look great.
Peter, what you just said is gold. I think you're right. High value that you're having trouble getting in. You drop it off at the front desk and say, "Hey, if your boss have a chance to look at it, I'll be back in 5 days to pick it up. If you look at it, fine. If not, then I'll take it to somebody else." That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's exactly how I would use it. The minimum run of 50 pieces, and I think I calculated this. Let's see. I calculated it yesterday. It was $3,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd be very close.
Yeah, about $3,000. But boy, in my case, webmastering, it's a $2,000 to $10,000 client. You don't need maybe even one of those to pay for the whole fleet of cards, of brochures, digital video brochures.
The other thing that I've found is, being in the CD and DVD industry, that's. Nobody really wants to talk to you. If you've got somebody that's doing a good job for you, they just want to stick with it. It's something they really don't want to think about. But if you have an opportunity to go in there and show them something, new and different like this, or the next item that we want to talk about, and all of a sudden, it opens up the door and say, hey, what are you doing for your DVDs? Is that something we could talk about too?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I might have to get. Do you give commissions? If I get enough accounts, I might be able to afford that.
We can work something out.
All right. Hey, the next thing. Let's go on to the next thing now. He's got another really interesting product. Not quite as interesting as that one, but still very interesting.
So I've got several different things to show here. Let's see. So this looks like just kind of a fancy business card, and it's got essentially what's called a web key, but it functions in your USB drive, but it is not a USB drive. It does not have any storage capacity. All that it will do is when you plug it into your computer, it will automatically take you to a URL, any website that you say you want this to go to, and it's modified.
Oops.
We want these to go to a different website, this month, or our website changed, or go to this page. They would just call us up, and we can modify these remotely so that they will go to a different website. So I actually had that done with one of these here, and it's this guy right here. This one is very similar to that, but it's got a slide out.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to plug this in real quick into my USB drive. And then let's see if we can share this. And I had this one modified. This was actually a person's... what happened? Just a minute. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
Does it look familiar to you, Peter?
It certainly does. It's my website.
So that card now goes to your website.
How cool is that?
And let me stop sharing this here. Okay. So these things come in all shapes and sizes. You can do them as a mailer. This one here is a 2-panel, and you would simply cut the web key out and then plug it in.
Wow, that's nice. That's really nice.
Here's a little bit larger version.
Nice.
And yeah, just very. Oh, here's one for the Ryder Cup. But any number of customizable solutions for these. And what else did I want to mention about them? Oh, they don't track, but you have online analytics available. So anytime anybody uses one of these, you can log on to a website, and it will tell you when and where that card was plugged in. So interesting for advertising opportunities for somebody that wants to maybe put something in a magazine. You could, for example, if you did 10,000 of these and you wanted to do a test, you could batch those web keys into 2 different groups, and so put 5,000 in Sports Illustrated, put 5,000 in Sunset Magazine. You go to your online analytical tool, and it's going to tell you which one is giving you better results.
Wow. Phenomenal. The other thing that's nice about that, USBs, everybody tries to push you towards USB, put your information on a USB. Well, just last week on Leo Laporte on This Week in Tech, apparently the firmware that goes into the USB itself has been hacked and completely takes over your machine. So USBs are like a no-no now. You don't use them, and that's what's good about the web key, is it doesn't have any firmware like that, I don't think.
No.
And therefore, it completely circumnavigates the USB hacker stuff that we're finding out right now. when you put a USB in, even your antivirus software only looks at the files that are on there. It doesn't look at the firmware, and that's how these hackers have gotten to us. So I think that's great. The other thing, Ron, talk about the open rate. Because I obviously did the video and I watched the videos, and I'll have those links up on our website for everybody else to see. But the opening rate was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's averaging between 25 and 35% open rate.
Yeah, that's instead of trying to have somebody type in an address or something like that. These things have a huge open rate, and they're fairly affordable. They're running about $5 a pop, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's, again, all based on quantity. Minimum order quantities on these are typically 1,000 units, right. And then depending on how you want it. But yeah, if you figure $4 to $5.
Yeah, right. And so there's a chunk of change there, no doubt. But boy, what a tool,
Well, and for larger operations, the price goes down substantially too. If you bump that up to 2,500 units, you're going to reduce that cost by 75, 80 cents easy.
Yeah. Well, that's still for small business guys. That's still quite a reach. I think we're running minimum orders, to try to get into that league. But boy, what a great tool. And does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question. How are you? I know through the web you've been going to market, and Peter has kind of redesigned your site. But how are you getting this word out? Because until Peter sent me the links to it, I had no idea anything like this even existed. And it's I'm a home-based business guy, so these prices are out of my range to make any sense. But I got to tell you, these are tremendous advertising and marketing tools for bigger companies and all. I mean, how are you trying to get the knowledge out to the marketplace?
Word of mouth and through our existing client base.
Yeah. Okay.
And hopefully the new website that Peter's helping me with.
Yeah.
And soon we're going to get you into podcasting, and we'll be able to really showcase these things really well then. Yeah,
because the potential of these things that you're working on are, again, I've never heard of them, but that doesn't mean a hell of a lot. But I do know marketing and promotional tools, and I'll tell you, they're phenomenal. Especially to be able to do the analytics along with them. I mean, that's worth its weight in gold right there.
Yeah. Now, Dick, when you were over at the your favorite promotional guys, did they have anything like this?
No. Next time I see her, I'm going to ask her if they even heard of them. I would be amazed if they even heard of them because I don't think they're state of the art here yet. So.
Well, Coachella Valley, come on now. We're like the next Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. However, though, when Ron sends me down a sample, he's going to send a WebKey sample down and the brochure sample down.
Yeah.
I'll lend them to you, Dick, to take over there to show them.
Yeah.
They may be able to do some business with Ron, and we could really help Ron out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's their it's a multifaceted business. It's a postal place, and they do printing and stuff like that and promotions. So I think I definitely will do that.
Yeah, the other thing I'd like to have you try to make an appointment with the La Quinta chamber president to show him. I'm going to do the same thing with the Indio chamber.
Yep.
But I think the chambers could use something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But particularly the WebKey. I mean,
Yeah. Let me ask you around a question. From a pricing point of view, suppose two organizations like La Quinta and Indio Chamber of Commerce came to you and said, we want to do 1,000 or whatever, but we'd like them half La Quinta and half Indio. Is that a doable process?
Well, so are we talking about, would they be printed the same, or the web keys would just go to two different URLs?
The web keys go to two different URLs, I would imagine, but
they would be printed. They would look the same.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I'm just trying to take this from a, Peter, you know how these chambers are as far as spending money, but there's like 6 chamber of commerces in the Coachella Valley that, might be interested in a cooperative type of an agreement with them. So I just wonder if
That's
it's a feasible thing.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. You know, if we could combine everybody, say 6 different URLs, is that possible, Ron?
Sure.
Yeah, you see where we're trying to head. You know,
Yeah. No, it's the printing, it's the economy of printing that is the problem. The technology of the web key, that's easy to
Okay.
put different URLs on there.
So I would think, Dick, that what we would try to do is to print all the chambers logos and stuff on there, you know, so it's everybody can see it, and then for whichever
Right.
chamber they're giving the stuff out.
Right.
I don't know if they're really in competition with each other either. I don't know.
I think there's a degree of competition, but you know, I also think that if they saw the opportunity to be able to get this out to the masses at a reasonable price, they might go along with it. But we can find out. I'll talk to the president of La Quinta, and, you know.
Yeah, and I'm due to talk to the president of the Indio Chamber on the 28th anyway, on podcasting what we're going to do for him. But I just think these tools would be absolutely knock it out of the park wild for them. Absolutely. So
I think for them and a lot of people, man, that's a tremendous.
And I have a question for Ron.
Yep.
So the web key redirects to the live URL. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a little broken up there, but if I understand you correctly, the web key will direct to a distinct, unique URL.
And then you're on the live web page. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's what he was showing. That's what he showed when he.
I didn't know maybe like just like a pic of the URL or something.
Right. Oh, yeah. Screenshot.
no.
You are on the live.
Yeah, I was on Peter's live web page. I was redirected automatically. Works both on Macs and PCs too.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's
what that does, that makes it easier, because when you tell people, oh, go to my website, it's www. Now you just hand it to them and they just plug it in. They don't even have to try and remember or even do it. Just here,
Right.
goes right to my website.
Right. And there's
Well, I mean, if you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that you know, Peter put a real nice video on our website that explains this in greater detail and more succinctly than I can, of course, with my limited vocabulary.
But that is the basic idea, right?
Now, interesting story. Okay, so we don't even have his new website live on his URL. It's nested in one of my hosting sites, and but I created most of his social media, and I got a YouTube channel, and I put up the 2 videos. Within what, 2 days, Ron? Somebody called you?
Yes, there was a comment on there. Do you know that you're violating so-and-so's patent in Europe? And I contacted the people that I work with on this, and they said, no, they're lying. You know, and here's a copy of our U.S. patent, and our lawyers have already been in touch with them. And so,
I meant it just shows the power of social media again, and particularly in YouTube, the second largest search engine on the web.
yeah.
And we're not even, well, we're live for YouTube, obviously. We're not live on the site, which I was going to show this site. Can I steal your thunder here for just a second?
Absolutely. And these web keys are U.S. patented as well.
Let me see if I have. No, it doesn't look like I've got it on here. Let me go over here a minute. And anybody else got a question while I'm hunting this up?
Yeah. Ron, let's go back to this web key and get this. Maybe Peter may have to answer this because I don't know the answer and I'm not technical. If this sends me to a URL, could that URL be a hub and I can change where it goes from the hub to a different URL every week? In other words, it goes to a central location, then this week it goes to this video, next week goes to video number 2, and that kind of, and it's the same web key.
It would be the same web key. We would just have to change it for you.
Oh, no. Here's how you would do it. The web key would send it to a particular landing page URL. Period. End of sentence. We reprogram that landing page each week to show what we want to show.
There you go. Yep.
That's how you do it.
To show the video of the week.
Exactly.
And they just keep the same web key and we just change where they wind up.
Yep.
That's wrong. That's a lot of potential there.
Plug it in every Monday for a new video kind of thing.
Right. And only those who have the web key have access.
That's right.
Talk about exclusivity.
Yep, and scarcity.
People line up. I'll see if you are worthy of. It's like being sponge worthy on Seinfeld. You've got to be web key worthy on.
There's one website. I haven't seen it yet, but I was told about it. That you go to the website and it prompts you to now insert your web key for access.
Wow, that's wild too. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Almost like a car key.
Yeah, it's a car key. Yeah, for premium card key holders only. So let me share. I got your new site up here, and everybody, let me know when you see that.
Yep.
So
got it.
Yeah, this is. Let me get over there now too. I gotta get over there now so I can work it. There. So yeah, the videos we're talking about are right here. Assuming you all see that. I can't look at two things at once here, but
we do.
Okay, as long as somebody give me some feedback, they're good. So these are here, and they have their own sections. So I should make these clickable too, by the way, Ron, to get over to the sections. But the digital video brochure is right here, and look at what this says. Ron came out with some phenomenal things, kind of down your same line, Frank. People remember 3 days after a presentation, people remember 10% of what they hear, 35% of what they see, and 65% of what they see and hear percent. That's pretty huge, and that's why these brochures, I think, work so well. And I've got both of them in a video here, and I'll have this linked and whatnot on the site. And then the web key we've got here, the web key video is right here as well. And as you can see, it comes in different formats, which Ron's already shown some of those. And here's some more examples of those. So that's pretty cool. And what's great? Works all the way across every platform, which is neat. And one thing too, Ron, if you put a QR, quick response code printed on the web key, if they have an iPad or something, they can't get to it, but they have a smartphone, they can just scan it, and boom, they're there too. So they can certainly do that. So that's what I wanted to show there. Let me get back over here and stop sharing. But I think those are phenomenal tools. Just one of many phenomenal tools you have. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Frank? Come on now.
No. I'm just thinking, Ron. When I heard you were going to come on, and I did look at your old website and your new website, and I said, oh great, another guy that's going to have little shot skis and cute little stuff, and I said, oh, shoot me now, right? But again, Ron, I was surprised, and it's novel, it's intriguing. I think it can be very insightful. It's definitely fascinating. These are all the words that I use all the time. It's fascinating. You are not just a fax machine, which is what I thought you were going to be. And with little cute little stuff. Maybe the USB. The little what do they call the jump key, the jump things?
Jump drive.
Yeah, jump drive. The jump drive. I said, oh, the guy with a jump drive with a logo on. I've seen those. It's a little bit better than a golf tee, I guess. But no, you have blown me away. The potential and the perceived value of this is tremendous. And to me, that's most important, the perceived value. People now, especially if you only walk in with 10% of the number, if there's 100 people, you only have 10 in your pocket, those 10 are going to feel very, very special. And it's, well, they should. I think that's tremendous.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come on and share this with you folks too. So thank you.
How long have they been around, Ron?
The video brochures actually came out, I believe it was in the first one was probably 2010, but they really haven't made any kind of an impact yet until about 2012 is when started seeing more and more of them. And the web keys, I'm not sure. I don't think the web keys have been around for more than a year.
Right. So this is bleeding edge type advertising capability. That a company should want to know about.
Yeah.
It strikes me. I think you better send in my care package. You better send a stack of business cards for you.
Okay, I can do that too. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have yours on a CD-ROM yet?
I don't.
Oh, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. Here we go. Well, I have the same problem most of the time. I got everybody else's websites looking great, and mine sucks. Mine doesn't suck, but you know what I mean. So you even got a chance to see my knife throwing target yesterday.
I did.
Knifethrowingtarget.com. Revolution in knife throwing. Targets, axes, machetes, anything you like to throw, shovels, trenching tools, all kinds of good stuff. You can even shoot them. We have capability of putting on a metal plate on the front so you can actually shoot at them too and not tear them up. But I digress. So, Ron, let's hear a little bit about your company. You've got it in 2 different places. You have it in Seattle and Portland. Why?
Well, I've got, I was actually I work out of my home, and I used to be based out of Battleground, which is right down near Vancouver, down by the Oregon border. And so most of my clientele are Portland, Oregon based. But I moved a few years ago, and I hired a colleague to cover Portland for me, and I've been working and concentrating more on Seattle area.
Yeah, and you have some kind of small clients, right? Like Microsoft.
Unfortunately, they are now a small client. We used to do a lot of CDs and DVDs for Microsoft, but unfortunately, they don't do much of that anymore. But I had lunch with an old friend, a marketing manager at Microsoft on Tuesday, and he told me he hadn't seen a piece of optical media in 3 or 4 years come through Microsoft. So,
well, you have had some really nice clients, is what I'm trying to say.
We do stuff for FLIR, forward-looking infrared. The pods on the military cameras and on the TV news cameras. Nike, Intel,
Maserati.
Maserati. DC Shoes down in San Diego. We for whatever reason we seem to do a lot of snowboarding DVDs, so we have a little niche there. But
well, that's interesting.
Yeah, we've got small clients. We have a few large clients.
Do we have the right to put those on the website?
What?
Any of your clients? I'll say our clients. Any of our clients, like the Maserati video or the BYU video. We ought to show what's going on there.
Well, I think in the portfolio section there, we do show, some Microsoft products, some DC Shoes product.
Well, sure, but no video. So people like to watch. A video is so important on a web.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Frank? I mean, this is.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Frank. Weigh in on video. People don't like to watch, right?
It's amazing. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is priceless.
And what's the retention value, Frank?
65%. 3 days later from the video. That's right. And 10. Yeah, it's so strong. We're getting close. I'll look at the time here. You talked about these bleeding edge products, and again, I take a different tack. I call them bleeding edge because your competitors will bleed with envy, because there's an early adopter advantage to all this stuff run. The minute everybody has those video cards, they're not worth as much.
Sure.
The first people in an industry, the first people at a trade show, the first people in the town, the first people wherever they are, they have such a huge advantage. So I call it make your competitors bleed if you want bleeding edge, and you're the guy to go to because you've got it in spades, and you can deliver it at a fair price, at a very fair price. Okay.
Can you imagine in your old days, Frank, working with a software company and jetting around?
Man. Right.
Wouldn't that have been
That,
great?
you know, again, yeah, well, and again, back then, because I'll show my age, we did a lot of trade shows because people would go to trade shows to learn because the internet was not there. But I could see anybody, even today, if it, again, I'll go back to Bonnie Ray. You want to give them something to talk about? This is something at an exhibit area, at a trade show, at a networking event, at some kind of business expo. People will talk about this. They'll take it from your booth and say, "Have you seen this? Those guys over there, you got to go see them." And it's a buzz. It's a buzz, Ron, and you are generating buzz, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
The other thing that he did, we have up on the website. I showed. I did a video review of his website, but I also put in, Frank, you know, when we used my little cake box thing, you know, like the spindle I gave you, you know, to do video with it. He actually used that because he's got a bajillion of them, and he shot video with it, by golly, you know.
All right, Ron.
Yeah, that was cool.
I've got I've got some sample discs in here, and I just had to take a bunch of discs out and set it up.
Hey, the other thing, Ron, let's talk about, you know, because I'm going to get my business card obviously underway here with you. You do other business card shapes. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So you're, like you had said, you're doing a rectangular one like this. This is modeled after I think it's Maryland driver's license.
Look at that.
But the more traditional would be what they call the hockey rink style.
Right, the hockey puck, yeah.
Rounded edges. And this was a Tektronix one, but that's what would be considered a mini CD, just round. And then you start getting into some of the more funky ones, little square guy.
Isn't that cool, Frank?
Look
at that one.
Cool.
Are you just a cog in the wheel, or are you a leader?
Yeah, show that one. That is. Yeah, I see that one. I like that.
This one's been popular with realtors, obviously.
Oh shoot! Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
And just a quick funny story for you. Obviously these have to have some degree of balance in order to function in the drives. We did one years ago for a chainsaw manufacturer, and it's probably the most prevalent chainsaw manufacturer that's out there. I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about. But their design came in looking like a chainsaw, so a big engine and then this bar that came out to the side there. And we were like, sorry, this is just not going to work. And they were insistent. And so we had them sign a waiver and said, likelihood is this thing will not play in a drive. So we went ahead and manufactured it for them. They put it in their drive, and it sounded just like a chainsaw on that drive. They were thrilled.
Did it play, though?
No, it did not play.
Oh, geez.
But it sure sounded like a chainsaw.
I want one like a shuriken, like Ninja Shuriken, the throwing stars, That will be my next version.
Well, if you sharpen the edges on this guy a little bit.
That I could use anywhere as a weapon. You betcha. I could do that. Yeah, we talked about that, breaking CDs and using the sharp pieces as a weapon, Mark. Both Ron and I were talking about it yesterday, except for he said they came out with one CD that's a flexible CD. You can bend it, it'll never break.
It just bends.
Yeah, don't get those if you want to carry it on, if you want it as a weapon. Don't get the one that flexes all the way. That wouldn't be good. So, okay, well, we're up to the top of the hour. Any questions, anybody? Comments? Quiet?
No, I want to say, Ron, thank you for joining us and for showing us what else is available, and you have opened my eyes. Anyway, I can just talk for me, but my eyes as the fact that it is so much potential out there with what you're doing, and like I say, you can do it, be the first in your group to do it, or be the last in your group and wish you were first. Now is the time to do it.
Well, I certainly appreciate the opportunity, and pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you.
So how do people find you? MediaDirectLLC.com. How about a
Is my
telephone number?
website? Yes. And or my telephone is 503-313-0676.
I'll have all that in the show notes as well. So, all right, I guess we're done for the day. Great show, guys. Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick and Ron. Thanks for coming on. I learned a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, hang on. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but don't hang up.